Earth's uninhabitability will come on gradually and gain momentum as time passes. Here's just a possible series of developments that could happen, or that will happen. Drought becomes a chronic problem in Western states, depleted aquifers plague the entire population. Additional thermal energy and water vapor, very severe storms and flooding. Rising oceans begin drowning coastal cities. Continental U.S. will become hotter and hotter, eventually deadly. Remember those cars in the summertime? Tens of millions of desperate people will seek to migrate north of England. There's a standard traffic jam getting out of town, or trying to. Likely actions, martial law probably be declared simply to keep order. And we've seen examples of that in this country on relatively minor things like race riots and demonstrations at Kent University and things like that, where the National Guard was called out because to maintain our crisis management. People may find themselves being ordered to live on, government land, government housing, government jobs. Their government will become basically the caretaker. Global warming will accelerate markedly. All that methane starting to show up in the atmosphere. It just gets worse and worse, faster and faster. As our children and grandchildren move into the next century, temperatures of 125 or more will become commonplace. Millions of people will probably seek to move to Canada just to escape the heat. That is, if Canada doesn't put up a massive wall across the border.
They will. A giant wall.
And make us pay for it.
And make us pay for it. Yes, sir. What's your damn people? Yeah. It's not us. Oh, God. So, 2150 and beyond, most of the planet is going to be uninhabitable. Between 55 degree north and 50 degree south latitude, except for a few oases here. Most of North America, all of Central America, most of South America, except for the tip of Argentina, most of Europe, most of Asia, all the Mideast, Southeast, Australia, India, and Africa, all uninhabitable. Scary, isn't it? Habitable regions. The only reasonably habitable region left will be a narrow strip, perhaps 500 miles wide, just south of the Arctic Circle. It won't be cold by then, it'll be temperate. Okay, 70s and 80s, things like that. Several hundred million, perhaps a billion people are going to try and squeeze into that, the survivors, as they migrate north. Area not much bigger than the continental United States. About two-thirds of that area occupied is currently under control of Russian territory. Canada occupies much of the rest, and there's the dregs. Alaska, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Greenland. So, north to Alaska. Let's assume we can get up there. Though the state has a very large land area, over 663,000 square miles, only about 50,000 square miles of that is potentially arable land because it's south of the Arctic Circle and it's not in mountains. Most of the state is you can't grow stuff there. Even with our supported population of about 25 million people, so even with our current population of 300 million, it means 1 in 12 people will survive. Who lives and who dies? Scary questions. These are things people don't want to look at. But it's coming if we don't act proactively now. So will we trample each other in a stampede? Or will we act nobly and give deferential treatment to certain ones over others, like what happened in the Titanic disaster? Either the best case, either of those scenarios, or anything between them, doesn't look pretty. It's totally scary. Which has caused some to begin asking questions. Is global warming really inevitable? Is just